Hi everybody, happy Wednesday evening. I wanted to make a quick video about something that came to me today at work, and I thought about it all day, and when I came home from work I wrote about it. So I want to share some information with people who are suffering, that are highly sensitive or empath people like myself, and I'm brutally honest, so if you don't like cussing or someone who's brutally honest, then you might want to go to someone else's channel. I want to talk about empathy, highly sensitive people, and addiction. The common threads that have to do with people like myself are addictive personalities who end up being alcoholics, drug addicts, or promiscuous people looking for unconditional love or to quiet the pain, right? For people like myself, highly sensitive, empathic people, or intuitive light workers like myself, we're more prone to be addicts. Passive-aggressive narcissists are people that we attract. We ourselves sometimes are addicts because we don't want to feel all this shit, right? We try to escape the feelings at all cost. We don't think we can handle them, so we can't stick up for ourselves or have enough courage or power to say what we really need to say. We have a major feeling of unworthiness, abandonment issues, or search for unconditional love that we never got as a child. Most people I've met that are like myself have been hugely fucked up in the head from their childhoods, which I'm one of them. And not being accepted, or what's the word I want to use? I can't remember what the word is I want to use. Anyways, I'll think of it in a minute. The reality is that all we want to do is escape these emotions. We don't want to accept them. And I'm the first one that's guilty of this. I fucking hate crying. And for being the person I am, helping all these other people with their issues. And I have helped countless people with issues. And I can always help them, but myself, I bury them because I didn't want to fucking accept it. I didn't want to fucking cry, because what does crying do? Crying is a weakness. And I'm not weak. And then, because I was homeless years ago, I was afraid if I cried and accepted the emotions and the pain, I wouldn't come back from it again, and I would snap. That's terrible. Terrible to live in that fear, right? Fear is unimaginable too. I mean, it's stressful. It causes anxiety. What happens then? They have the addiction. Not me, but other people have the addiction, and then their avoidance. And I can personally say for me, for a very long time, I'd bury these things and I wouldn't cry. To be a healer and a light worker and an intuitive, and to help people with readings and help on missing person cases and help with paranormal activity, I had to dig deep about 5 years ago, and I've been digging deep. And it's been the hardest thing I've ever had to do. I had something tragic happen to me 7.5 years ago that really fucking changed my life. And so I've had to come back from that. One of the things I thought of today when I did my meditation was people like myself. If you're watching this and you know what I'm talking about, we must feel in order to heal that pain. As sucky as that sounds and as fucking raw as the pain is, we have to feel it in order to accept it and move on. One of the things that I realized when I dug through this and started to accept crying, which I hate, still I hate because I'm stubborn, is that I wasn't going back to the past, but I was accepting what happened and not blaming myself, because we tend to blame ourselves, right? And we're always looking for unconditional love. We end up in fucked up relationships because empaths or sensitive people like myself and you who are watching this video end up with passive-aggressive narcissistic people. So it starts off in a good relationship and they're accepting and loving of you, and then it turns into something completely different. Most of us, if we're all being fucking honest, is we pretend to be somebody. And what I mean by that is 10% of me, not anymore, but 10% of me, no one knew. I was behind a mask. I mean, I'm 90%, I was myself, but that 10% I hid so well that no one knew the pain that I was going through. No one ever knew the things I went through because I never shared them. Because what's going to happen when I share them? Because most people twist them and hurt me with the pain. So fuck that. I didn't want to do that, right? In a relationship or a friendship. And I've lost a lot of friends. One particular friend has been the hardest one I ever lost, but she was toxic and she would feed off my energy and she just wasn't healthy for me. As I've embraced all of this, it's helped me tremendously. So I wanted to make this video to tell you that there's hope for you. Growing up surrounded by everyone being this way is very hard for a child that's highly sensitive or empathetic or a medium or whatever the case may be. We have that unworthiness feeling, abandonment, loneliness, not being loved. Lovable has always been an issue for me. Abandonment is huge too. It's just really hard because what do? People go to alcohol and drugs because they don't want to accept the fucking emotions and the pain. I was in a really long relationship and ended up in marriage and ended up in divorce. And he was emotionally abusive towards me. So after I became homeless and hid it from everyone, I worked at a really, really good job. And I hid it from everybody that I was living out of my truck. And it changes you as a person, because at that point I was really lost. And so when you see a homeless person, that was me at one time. And people are so judgmental towards people who are like us. They think it's a mental problem. It's not. It's not. It's not mental. I'm a human being with human feelings. And I used to give and give and give myself to people, helping everybody. And when it was time for me to ask for help, where was everybody? No one was around. I had to help myself. Strangers took me in at the time, who became really good friends. And it's really, really hard for people like us to be accepted in the world. So what do? We hide it, or we dose it up with drugs or alcohol or cigarettes or whatever the case may be. I was smoking for years. I just quit 3 years ago. And the other day I had a moment for about 5 minutes where I really wanted a cigarette. I just want to say, for all of you who are like me, who are suffering, alcohol and drugs are going to make it completely harder for you to reach in and accept the emotions and be who you're supposed to be in this life. I just want to say that to you. And no matter who hurt you, because I've been hurt and I've lost a lot in my life, no person in a relationship is worth it if they treat you like shit and all you do is to please them. That's not being loved. And don't be scared to be alone. I have been single for almost 5 years now and have really delved into who I am as a person. And I never really knew who Chris was until this past few years, because I hid that pain and that emotion so deep down inside. I didn't even know who I was, because I was always someone else's girlfriend or wife or whatever, and I didn't know who I was. I went for a reading last year in the city. Now, I can do this for people because I'm intuitive and I'm a medium. I decided to go to this reading with a friend of mine who knows me very well. Long story short, the lady did a reading, and this is what she said to me. She said, "Chris, you need to be a little more sensitive." And I said, "What?" And she said, no, not like that. She said, "You're so rough around the edges and you intimidate people because you're rough around the edges and very blunt, and you don't hide anything or soften anything. You just let it, come out the way you want it to." She said, "You need to be a little softer." And I thought to myself, I was soft for how many years in my life? Fuck that. I'm rough around the edges, and I may come off like I'm cocky, but it's because I care and I love what I do to help people. And I'm not going to change who I am because other people are offended. I respect your opinion, you respect my opinion. There's no reason to insult people. I may meet somebody on here that has a YouTube channel that's similar to me, but we disagree about something. I'm not going to hate them or bash them. I'm going to say, fine, we'll agree to disagree. That's how the world should be. It shouldn't be this whole bashing and being mean to one another. It's so stupid. And Facebook is terrible. I'm going to call it toxic book, because all on there is people who bitch and complain and act like hypocrites. And I just am so sick of it. I don't go on there very often. I just go on there to stay in contact with a few people from New Zealand and a couple other friends. I'm usually on Instagram or on here. So I just want to tell you not to give up. Don't go and take that glass of alcohol or go and, pop those pills. Look for help. Look for people that are like you. Try to, work on it. There's so many things out there that you can do. Meditation is huge. Grounding is huge. I mean, I know it's very hard to quit smoking, so I'm not going to say quit smoking, but people who drink way, way too much, all you're doing is making the pain worse, because when you do become sober or when those drugs wear off, it's just going to be even harder. So that's all I wanted to say tonight. Bye.